This is your 420 Radio News for Monday, January 27th, 2014, brought to you by the National Cannabis Coalition. I'm Russ Belville. Medical marijuana is headed to the ballot in Florida. The state Supreme Court, in a 4-3 decision, approved the summary language for the November election, rejecting a challenge from the state attorney general that the summary misleads voters into approving California-style medical marijuana. On Friday, the State Division of Elections determined that supporters had turned in over 710,000 valid signatures, clearing the threshold to place the measure on the ballot. The amendment needs 60% approval from the voters to be added to the Constitution. The latest polls in Florida show 73% to 82% support for the issue. The amendment may also bode well for the electoral chances of gubernatorial candidate Charlie Crist, the Republican-turned-Democrat, who seeks to reclaim the governor's office from the man who unseated him in 2011, Republican Rick Scott. Crist's boss, attorney John Morgan, is bankrolling the amendment campaign, while Scott has adamantly opposed medical marijuana. DEA Chief Michelle Lenhart is furious that President Obama told the truth about marijuana being safer than alcohol. Speaking at an annual meeting of county sheriffs, Lenhart got a standing ovation from the cops in attendance as she openly derided her boss over his recent interview, claiming Obama didn't understand the science enough to describe marijuana use as merely a bad habit. Lenhart was reportedly upset that the White House has played softball games against drug reformers and, we note, has been beaten 5-2 this year and 25-3 last year by the one-hitters, and that the White House flew a flag made of hemp over the Capitol. That flag was presented by Representative Jared Polis of Colorado, who famously got Lenhart to refuse to acknowledge marijuana is safer than heroin during congressional testimony. Lenhart also infamously referred to the massacres of Mexicans in the drug war as a, quote, signpost of success, end quote, against the cartels who are, quote, acting out like caged animals, end quote. Marijuana will compete among tomatoes, hogs, and apple pies at this summer's Denver County Fair. Tracy Weil, the fair's marketing and creative director, said, quote, we thought it was time for us to take that leap and represent one of the things Denver has going on, end quote, referring to contests that will include off-site judging of cannabis seedlings and clones, marijuana-infused foods, glass artistry, and hemp clothing designs, as well as a joint rolling contest using oregano. There will be no cannabis on site, and entries will be displayed as photographs in an adults-only pavilion, along with contests for homemade beer, wine, and liquor. Denver's county fair began in 2011 and also features such oddball competitions as a bicycle rodeo, a Doritos eating contest, a drag queen pageant, and Best Diorama Made with Peeps Marshmallow Candies contest. The Colorado Supreme Court has agreed to hear a case that will finally determine whether lawful medical marijuana patients can be fired for their off-duty use of pot. Brandon Coates is a quadriplegic who worked for Dish Network as a telephone operator. When he failed a random urine screening for marijuana, he cited his legal use of medical marijuana and the state's lawful off-duty activities statute, which prevents employers from firing employees for the legal activities they engage in outside of work. A trial court upheld Coates' termination, saying that the constitutional amendment legalizing medical marijuana didn't grant any rights, but merely provided exemptions from criminal prosecution. The Colorado Court of Appeals upheld the trial court, but went further in explaining that since marijuana is federally illegal, its use can't be protected by the lawful off-duty activities statute. The Supreme Court will answer whether medical marijuana use is a right and whether federal illegality matters in Colorado law. It is unclear whether Colorado's constitutional right for all adults to possess and grow cannabis will have any bearing on the judgment. 10 months worth of drug testing students involved in extracurricular activities in Edmond, Oklahoma, has netted 8 positives out of 750 tests. The positive rate of just over 1% is far below the standard workplace drug testing positive rate of 3.5% and half the rate of drug test positive in states that require screening as a condition for getting public assistance. Welfare drug testing in Florida costs the state $35 per test. At that rate, Edmonds, Oklahoma taxpayers forked over $26,250 to catch 8 kids, which works out to over $3,000 per positive. Recent studies show little difference in current and future drug use rates among kids who attend schools that drug test and those that do not. This has been your 420 Radio News for Monday, January 27th, 2014. I'm Russ Belville. You can get the transcripts of our 420 Radio News exclusively at the National Cannabis Coalition. Visit ncc420.com for downloads. When we come back, we'll go behind the headlines and take a deeper look at the Florida Medical Marijuana Amendment and reactions from Bob and Kathy Jordan. You're listening to The Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. We'll be right back.